Respect our movement.
I like your movement.
Black Entrepreneurs Group.
Lovely.
What's going on, everybody? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. If you haven't hit that bell, hit that notification bell so you can receive a notification anytime I drop a video. How y'all doing today? I know it's been a minute. I know we haven't been rocking the way we're supposed to, just dealing with some health issues, trying to get back right, trying to get focused. But today we are going to jump into this this topic for relationship boot camp. We are going to jump into what I call fact or fiction. Fact or fiction. Now, when I say that, what comes to mind? Fact or fiction in your relationship? What is fact and what is fiction? And what I mean by that is how much of your relationship is really fact and how much of your relationship is really fiction? How much time do you really spend trying to figure out what's going on in your relationship? And I'm gonna go ahead and just dive in. Okay, so relationship fiction. Here we go, relationship fiction. You are searching for this epic love story. You're searching for this epic love story. It's fiction. And I'm gonna tell you why it's fiction. Because nobody has a perfect love story. We all go through trials, tribulations, and ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride. Life is a roller coaster ride. So we won't ever experience a fairy tale love story, this epic love story that you paint when you sit there and you watch, TV, or you watch these love stories. You get this epitome of what your relationship should be. And that's part of the reason why you struggle in a lot of areas with certain things, is because you have this depiction in your brain that your relationship is supposed to be this way because of what you've seen. These crazy love stories and stuff like that. It's not fact. It's not factual, man. It's really not factual. And the moment you realize that it's not factual, the better off your relationship will be. Now, my next one will be a relationship fact. A good story does not make it a good relationship. Now, what I mean by that is sometimes there's a reason why off-screen relationships on TV actually work, or sometimes it's a good reason why they don't work in a sense. And it's because a lot of times people tend to put so much emphasis and feelings on the characters they create. And what I mean by that is we all create different personas for ourselves. We all create these fictional people within ourselves. And I'll give you a for instance, because I always use myself as an example. Like back when I was doing music or playing basketball or doing these other things, my name was Mills. That was like my other me. The other me was Mills. And anything that Andy couldn't do, Mills could do. Anything that Andy couldn't see himself becoming, Mills was that person. So it was tons of times to where I would wing it, and a lot of people would get to know Mills versus getting to know Andy. And that sometimes does not make good in a relationship, because people tend to gravitate to the person that you're showing them. So if you're showing them the other you, the person that sometimes isn't always available in a sense, because again, that was a persona that I created to enhance my image per se. And when that person isn't readily available all the time, people feel like you're not being genuine, you're not being them. So just because it's a good story, just because I created Mills Miller, does not mean that Mills Miller is good to be in a relationship. It's just not. Sometimes you have to figure out where you are in your process, and you have to figure it out. You have to go by different measures to create certain things, certain avenues for your relationship to be healthy. And when you give yourself this false sense of things are going to change, and it's only going to be changed because of your demeanor or your persona, then that's where you mess up at. You feel like, okay, well, this person that you created, at the end of the day, people gonna like me, and if they're not gonna like me, then the heck with them, or if they gonna love me for me and this, that, and the third. But nobody, and I mean nobody should have to deal with your mess. Nobody should have to deal with the things that you create on your own independently when you come into a relationship. My next one would be a fictional point, relationship fiction. A relationship will make you happy. This one is a gem here. A relationship will not make you happy. A relationship will not make you happy. Stop jumping in and out of relationships trying to find happiness. Your happiness comes from you. Your happiness comes from your faith in you as a person. What you don't like about yourself, excuse me, what you don't like about yourself, it tends to bleed out in your relationships. The things that you're dealing with in real life with yourself, they tend to bleed into your relationship. A relationship, a friendship, a marriage, a bond, they will not make you happy. You should be happy by yourself. Independently, your happiness, your source of happiness should be, your faith. It should be centered around your faith, and it should be to a place to where you can get a clear understanding of what happiness really is for yourself. If you cannot find happiness by yourself, if you cannot connect and tap into your spiritual side to get the happiness that you need, a relationship is not for you. It's not. If you're in a relationship now and you're not happy with yourself, get out. Get out, because the worst thing you can do is be in a relationship, a friendship, a marriage, a bond with someone, and you ultimately hurt that person because you weren't healed properly. You weren't in the right space. You weren't in that right head space to even be in a relationship, and you jumped in one knowing that you weren't healed, and you decided just because you wanted to feel quote unquote loved, or you felt like you needed to have a body beside you at night, that it was okay to jump into a relationship. Do not hurt yourself and do not hurt others around you because you can't find that happy place within yourself. So that's the relationship fiction. Now the relationship fact about that is, and I kind of intertwine them together. A relationship will not make you happy if you're not already happy. If you are not already happy, your relationship will not make you happy. It will not. And those are the things that you gotta remember when you're entering into a relationship with someone. You have to look at the facts versus the fiction. You have to look at things for what they are, not for what you want them to be. A lot of times we'll stay with people because we want them to change. We see the potential in them. But then you have to ask yourself, just because you see potential in someone, that does not mean that they are a perfect fit for you. They may be a perfect fit, but it may not be a perfect fit for you. Sometimes you have to see more than the potential in a person. Sometimes you have to actually grow with that person in certain areas, and sometimes you gotta let that person go and let them explore life and grow on their own. Sometimes it's not meant for you to be connected to a person long term. Can you mentally handle if the Lord tell you to move on from this person? Are you strong enough mentally to love yourself and love the Lord enough to let this person go and let them deal with their demons or deal with their hurt? Can you do that? You gotta look at all of that. So moving on, fact or fiction. So the next one will be learn how to talk to each other. Learn how to talk to each other. That's fact. Fact. Learning how to address each other with empathy and sympathy is so important when you're talking about a relationship. Learning how to discuss things with empathy and sympathy are definitely true facts in a relationship. You are going to be dealing with someone, and their opinions is not your opinions. Your opinions is not their opinions. How you relate to this person, how you build with this person is so important to your character traits. And what I mean by that is, everybody goes through this honeymoon stage in a relationship where everything is good. Y'all happy, y'all going on dates, y'all holding hands, y'all kissing, whatever it is that y'all doing, it's fun until something hit the fan. And when that something hit the fan, the question you have to ask yourself is, can you really be there for this person? Are you really in a point in your life to where you can take on someone else's baggage? If you cannot, then a relationship is just not for you. Because a relationship is the idea of a relationship is to build each other and connect on such a level to where anything that you're dealing with, this person should be able to help meet you and help meet the requirements to help you, and vice versa. You should be able to help this person. And a lot of times when you enter in a relationship, it's a self thing. okay, well, I want to be loved, or I feel like this, or I this, or I that. And it's not an I anymore in a relationship. You guys are a team. You got to understand that this is a team thing. This is team. It's not about what you want. Your likes and dislikes are so important in a relationship, but again, it's not about you. It is not about you. Learn how to defer. Learn how to have that communication. Learn how to have empathy and sympathy for whoever you're with. It's very important. Let's see. Let's see. Fictional point. Real fictional point. Let's see. I have sex more frequently when he or she does, and I don't like to always be the intimate one. Let me read that again. I want to have sex more frequently than he or she does, and I don't want to always be the intimate one. So that segue kind of into intimacy. Levels of intimacy is so important, but it's really one of those things that where you can put a fact on this one. And what I mean by that is this is a real factual moment. Sometimes we want to share intimate times with people, and they don't want to share intimate times with us. And it doesn't necessarily have to be sexual. It could just be intimate conversations about life, intimate quality time that you spend with someone, or one-on-one time. And it's hard to find that space. So the reason why I say it could be a factual thing is because a lot of times it's not about the sex. A lot of times it's not about the sex. It's about being intimate with someone one-on-one. Spending that quality time, no phones on, no computers, no tablets, the kids not around, just being intimate with each other, sharing each other's dreams and goals and life accomplishments, working on your vision boards together, doing these things. And a lot of times people defer. They don't want to spend that intimate quality time. As much as they say they do, they don't. And the reason why I say that is because they're scared, they're fearful. They don't want you to get too comfortable and too close with them. So they're only opening up a little bit. They're not really opening up. They're not giving their open and honest and transparent views on things because they're still hurt in certain areas. And that's okay. But what you got to realize is you will never, and I mean this seriously, I'm talking to somebody out there, you will never, ever find happiness holding on to bitterness and hurt from your previous relationships, friendships, marriages, or bonds. You will never find happiness that way. In order for you to be happy, you have to let go and let God deal with those areas in your life and fix you, fix yourself. Stop jumping from dude to dude, stop jumping from girl to girl, and really work on yourself. Because it's so important that you share intimate moments with the people that are around you. And when I mean people, I don't mean in a relationship sense. I mean family too. Sometimes you have to have intimate moments with your family. Sometimes you have to have those intimate moments with your friends. Intimacy does not always have to lead to sex, and it doesn't always have to be sexual. In your relationship, your intimate places and the intimate things that you discuss with your significant other is so important, and it's so imperative, because you never know how this person can help you. You never know what you're struggling with until you open your mouth. Because in your mind, you think you know, on this hill, you're not struggling, you're not wanting for nothing. And then, you know, a person can come in and say, oh, well, you struggle with this. You struggling with this. You got to be in control. You got a lustful spirit, or you dealing with this, you dealing with that. And again, a lot of people cannot analyze where they are in their process, and they need people in their lives that can pick up in the spirit realm and tell them what they're dealing with. So it is so important that you have these intimate moments with your significant other. Let's see. Okay. Fact or fiction? This one right here is man, I'm telling you, this is a trust thing. Trust. I text him or her a few hours ago, but I haven't heard back yet. I wonder what that means, if he's seeing someone else or if she's seeing someone else. Listen, your mind is so powerful. Your mind is so powerful. This one is probably going towards the ladies more than anything. Stop assuming that just because you text Bae and Bae don't respond, that Bae is out cheating. Stop thinking the negative. When you allow the negative things to come into your ear gate or your eye gate, what happens is you are sabotaging your relationship. You are sabotaging your relationship. Trust is a trust is a factual point in a relationship. You have to have trust. You have to trust this person. If you're with this person, you should trust them. If you don't trust them, you should not be with them. Stop wasting your time with people that you don't trust. If you don't trust this young lady that you're dealing with, then fellas, you need to leave her alone. There is no need for you to waste your time being with someone that you cannot trust. That is a waste of time. That's dead weight and wasted energy for you. If you don't trust them, there is no need for you to entertain that person. And that's serious business, because just because you don't text back, it could be that you're working on something. It could be that you're asleep. It could be a plethora of different things, the reason why you can't text back at the moment. I myself personally, again, I use myself as an example, because I do so much, I'm not always near one or two of my phones. I have two phones. So I'm not always near my business phone when someone wants to talk, or someone wants to be mentored, or someone's going through something and we have different sessions and stuff like that. I'm always available, but at the same time, just because I'm available don't mean that I can attend to you at that moment. I may be working with a client. I may be working on a business plan. I may be working on something else and I cannot get to you at that point. That does not mean that I'm entertaining someone else if I'm in a relationship or not. Like, it doesn't work like that. Everyone's mental is different. Everyone's mental capacity is different. Do not allow your imagination to run wild when people don't hit you back right away. Sometimes I know it's hard, and I know you deal with hurtful areas, because most of the time, I'm just gonna be honest with you, a lot of times men and women, I'm gonna say men and women, men think that women cheat, and women think that men cheat all the time. But the reality of it is everyone at some point has been cheated on. Everyone has been cheated on, and everyone has cheated. And the reason why I say this is because we all have different definitions of what cheating really is. So if we all have different definitions of what cheating is, how can you sit there and have a conversation with someone that you care about, that you say you love, and when they ask you, have you ever cheated, you say no, because you don't know what you've done to someone else. You don't know if a person's definition of cheating is entertaining someone like you're entertaining them, or having conversations with someone of the opposite sex. And if that's the case, then again, we all cheated at some point. You have to be open and honest and make that connection with yourself. I'm not perfect. I tell people all the time, I'm not perfect, man. The person that you see now isn't the person I was 6 or 7 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, man. I'm a different person. So because I'm different, the levels of where I were versus where I'm at now are different as well. So I say that to say this, man. Trust is so important. It's so important. It is definitely a factual point in your relationship. It is a factual point that you need trust. You definitely need trust. Okay, another one. I know this relationship isn't good for me, but I can't seem to stop calling him or her. Woo! Oh, that one struck a nerve there. That one really struck a nerve with me. I know this relationship isn't good for me, but I can't seem to stop calling him or her. Listen, that's powerful. It's some people out there right now that's dealing with someone they know ain't good for them. It's somebody out here right now watching this video that you either dating some dude or you dating some girl that's not good for you. Man, listen, boy. Excuse me, boy. When I tell you this one is so powerful, Not only is it powerful because I'm giving you the nuggets on how to deal with certain things. Nah, man, it's personal for me. This one is personal. This one is real personal for me, because I done been in that situation. I done been in that situation where I feel like, and I see it. I can see it. The Lord blessed me with vision, so I can see things far down the road that you can't even, you wouldn't even be able to imagine where I'm at in my spiritual journey. He gives me sight. And because he gives me the gift of sight, he also gives me the gift of feelings. I can feel when I'm connected to certain people, I can feel what they go through. I can feel when something ain't right. You don't have to tell me, I can feel it. I can pick it up in the spirit realm. It's crazy. But I say all of that to say this. Listen, I done dealt with people I know that wasn't good for me. I done been in situations where I hung around because I was so connected physically with this person. And I'm not talking about from a sexual standpoint, just connected to them physically, that I never wanted to hurt their feelings. I never wanted to distance myself, because in my mind, they're going to look at me like, oh, you just like every other dude. You just like every other dude. You talk good, but you ain't really helping me. You're not seeing the things that I'm trying to get help with. So I stuck around. Stick around and listen, man. That hurt. That hurt when the Lord tell you to move and you not moving. He gonna move that person for you. You ain't even got to do nothing after that. After that point, you ain't even got to do nothing, because it's not always the devil that remove people from your life. And I'm gonna tell you that now. It's not always the devil that remove people from your life. Sometimes it's the Lord. Sometimes when he tell you to move and you don't move because you stuck over here with this girl or this dude, he'll move that girl or that dude to get your attention and let you know, hey, you got to go, man. It's time to go. Stop playing around. Stop playing around with what I'm telling you. That's one. Let me see if I can find another one. Okay, here's one. I'm afraid relationships will be over if I, you know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, this one right here is definitely a fictional point. And the reason why I say this is because when you start to tend to dive into your feelings, your opinions start to come out. I'm afraid my relationship will end or it will be over if I bring blank up. Listen, man, communication is key in a relationship, along with trust, along with faith, and along with love. All of these things mixed together makes for a successful, healthy relationship. So with that being said, I look at this one as a fictional statement, because at the end of the day, just because you bring something up does not mean your relationship is over. You need that communication. You need to get it off your chest. If y'all got a problem, sit down and talk about it. Y'all need to learn how to talk to each other and not talk at each other. Stop yelling. Stop wasting your time yelling. Because see, I'm going to be honest with you. In my past relationships, when people start yelling at me, I stop listening. I know how to zone out, man. Listen, I played semi-pro ball. I had a wonderful coach that taught me long time ago, years ago, how to zone stuff out, how to zone people out. So, man, I'm good at that. I could be looking at you and not paying you no attention. I can make you think I'm listening to you. I can nod my head and all of that. But listen, I learned how to zone people out about 7-8 years ago. So, man, listen, it's a powerful tool. Learn how to communicate with each other, man. Be one-on-one. Be on the same accord with each other. You don't have to argue about it, man. If it's going through something, whatever it is, if it's a communication issue, strengthen your communication. If it's a lust issue, get rid of the lustful ways, man. If it's cheating, assess the issue, man. Talk about it, get it off y'all chest, and be happy with each other, man. Be in a position to where y'all can help each other grow. Stop allowing people to take y'all off. Stop allowing things. Let me say that again. Stop allowing things and people to throw you off. Please stop allowing people and things to throw you off. And man, I'm a victim of it as well. So I ain't gonna sit there and act like I'm perfect, because I'm not. Stop allowing people, the things you do, and the places you go throw you off from where you're supposed to be. Listen, if it's not lining up with your spiritual journey, if it's not lining up with where you're trying to be, if your end game and they end game not the same, man, let that relationship go, man. You wasting time. How many years do you gotta waste dating the same type of dudes or the same type of girls that's not going nowhere? They pretty on the outside, they handsome on the outside, but they inside's jacked up. They don't have a spiritual connection. So if you a man, they can't. If you a man, you see this girl, she got a nice body or whatever, and you wasting your time with being with her because she ain't even on that spiritual level to where you at. You having to bring her up, and while you bringing her up, old buddy in her inbox trying to get her to come to the crib. And like I said, if she not strong mentally, no matter if she in a relationship or not, she gonna do her. Shorty gonna do her thing. Now, if you a female, it's the same way. While you out here trying to figure out, navigate through this fairy tale relationship that you done seen on Princess Diaries or whatever you watch, or whatever the case may be, you want this fairy tale relationship to work, you get with Buddy, and Buddy lost. He look good on the outside, he handsome, he got money, he got a job, he working, but what is he doing with his spirit? If his spirit ain't clean, it don't matter how much money the dude got, he can't elevate you. He can't help you. And because you with him and he can't elevate you, you know what you're doing? You pulling yourself down. You pulling yourself down. You pulling yourself further away from your blessing. Find you someone that is evenly yoked with what you're doing, but also make sure that y'all are sharing common interests for your end game, man. If your relationship end game ain't to get married, why be in a relationship? Why? Just to have sex? Come on, man. Anybody can do that. That's something that anybody can do. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your time with low quality people. Stop wasting your time with low quality people. People that mean you no good, that are coming into your life to throw you away from your blessings, and you allowing it. Stop allowing people to do that. Stop. Stop. I don't care how much it hurt to leave your boyfriend, how much it hurt to leave your girlfriend. If y'all cannot get on one accord and share the end game, the vision for the end game, why waste your time? Why deal with someone you know not going nowhere? Stop. Fact or fiction?